feather, dress, holding a Kanya the flower in his one of the ears. Vibhrata was Kanaka Kapisham, and his Uttari and his the cloth, which is like a gold, Kanaka garment with like a coat, Kapisham, Vajanti Jamalam, and is wearing the mala, Vajanti mala, which has 5 flowers. Randharana Venuvadhara, and is playing the flute. And Sudha, the flute is emanating nectar that the whole world is getting enchanted by Krishna's flute. The Yamuna, which is flowing, stops flowing by hearing Krishna's flute. Govardhan, which is stationary, it starts melting by hearing Krishna's flute. So this is the power of Krishna's flute. It enchants everybody in Vrindavan. Sudha Purayan Gopa Vrinde Vrinda Aranyam Swapadaravanam Pavishada Gita Kirti. So he's entering in the forest of Vrindavan with his own lotus feet without any chappal. And Krishna is putting his lotus feet, Pavishada Gita Kirti, and all the Gopas are singing his glories. It's a beautiful verse. It talks about wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue karnikara flower on his ears, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and the Vajanti garland, Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sang his glories. So this is a beautiful Bhagavatam. So why I showed this verse? Because Bhagavatam says, Shinvatam Sakatha Shinvanta Shadaya Nityam Ganantasya Shacheshtitam. I show the verse. Shinvata Shadaya Nityam Grantatashtashtitam Kalena Tidirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Shinvataha. Anybody who hears Bhagavatam Nityam, Shinvata Shraddhaya, so he hears or reads Bhagavatam Nityam, Granantashta Swacheshtitam, with Swacheshta, that I really want to hear Shrimad Bhagavatam. I want to myself do Cheshta to read Bhagavatam. Kalena Nati Dirgena. Within no time, Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. The Lord will reside in the heart of such a devotee who, with faith and hears Srimad Bhagavatam with endeavor, for such a devotee, Krishna will reside in his heart. So the best way to bring Krishna in our heart, to become Krishna conscious, is to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is definite by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam with Shraddha and with our own effort, we will become Krishna conscious there. And that's what this verse is bestowing, the blessing of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam very nicely. And we were just hearing the 10th canto of Venu Geet. There, Amarindapur was taking a special class. So it was like a nectar for us. I'm currently doing the 10th canto of Bhakti Vedanta. So Bhakti Vaibhav is first 6 cantos, and Bhakti Vedanta is last 6 cantos, 7 to 12. So now we are in the 10th canto is going on. So as a special class, though Radheshanta was taking for us, but Amrindapur was taking. So I was just online on the other class. So I thought to share that beauty. And the Vritrasis are praying that if anybody has eyes, then that eye should be used to see Krishna's beauty. That is a benefit of having eyes to see Krishna's beauty. There is no benefit of having eyes if one does not see Krishna's beauty. So, just my great thanks to all the Vaishnavas who have come today so that we can discuss the final concepts of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavatam is great nectar, but to relish that nectar, to make our life in a way that we can balance, we can relish that nectar to balance our life to make our life in such a way that we can absorb in Krishna, the concepts of Bhagavad Gita are very important. And that's why we are having this pre-Bhakti Yoga classes and the concepts of understand Bhagavad Gita. So start with prayers. ज्ञानतिमरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सेवदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापत्कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपां सारजातां सहगणा रघुनाथां वितं तं सजीवां सावधेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशादेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all Vaishnavas, especially we have senior Vaishnavas, Radha Krishna Prabhu. So Prabhuji is living Bhagavad Gita in his life with his dedication. So there's so many services, and Lasika Mataji is doing so many services in the deity department for the deities and so much. So I seek blessings from them to speak something about how to give up doership. So last time we were discussing how to give up doership mentality and how to give up doership. So we have seen three things, which important concept is there. So we saw. Anybody remembers which are the three types of doers? Three types of doers we saw.
Paramatma, Jiva and Prakriti.
Huh?
Paramatma, Jiva and Prakriti.
But there are three types. What are their functions? So we have coined
Sanctioning doer,
last time.
sanctioning doer is Paramatma, desire doer is Jiva, and executing doer is Prakriti.
Yes, very nice. So we have these three types of doer. So last time a lot of questions came upon doership, that how we are not the doer. So the desired doer is Jiva. Then sanctioning doer is Paramatma. And executing doer is Prakriti. So when we say Prakriti Kere Manani, so it is who's doing? It is the Prakriti who's doing everything. So Jiva desires, Paramatma sanctions, and Prakriti executes the work. She does the work, Prakriti. So this is a triangle. So now, if you see from this equation, we can only desire things. We cannot do things. So now two ways question will come. Now the Paramatma, so now if I am doing something wrong, so I am not the doer, so then I should not get the punishment, right? So fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita talks about these three things there. So suppose if I am the doer, I am not the doer, so if something wrong happens, then I should not be blamed. Like we say, na, if you do something good, don't take credit. So then I do something wrong also, then I should not be blamed. So how to answer this? Yes, Devdutt Prabhu, you wanted to answer? Devdutt Prabhu. So if I say if I do good, I'm not the doer, so I should not take credit. So if I do something wrong, then I should not be blamed also because I'm not the doer. Anyone like to?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Yes, Vasudev Pranpu wants to say. Yes, Vasudev Pranpu. He is.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So basically, we are not able to do anything because we do not have any abilities, but we are given the ability in the way of the mechanism, which is the material energy, which carries out our desire. So in one sense, we have initiated the action by our desire, and it is carried out as per our desire by the material energy. So material energy is not involved in the decision making. We are the decision maker.
Yes, very good, very good. So because a jiva is desiring, so he is responsible for the consequences. Like if you order something in the hotel and it takes half an hour to come, but in half an hour your mind changes. So you cannot say, no, don't now bring it. He has made it, now you have to take it. You have to pay the bill for it. Even you take it or not take it, you have to pay the bill because we ordered in the hotel. The half an hour passed by or 45 minutes passed by and I may change, but because it's doer. So Jiva's desire is a doership. Now a question may come, how to understand we are not a doer? Because if I'm doing something, I'm using my mind. It was thought came in my mind. I use my intelligence. I use my skills. So then it seems that I am only the doer because ultimately I am only doing the things, isn't it? There. So now how to understand that we are not the doer? So for this, Krishna explains in the 18th chapter. There are 5 doers. So 2 ways we can understand. So one way Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. Anybody remembers 18th chapter? That what Lord says, that who are the doer? Who are the 5 doers? Yes, I think somebody's hand is up. Okay, yes, Parsati.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The first doer is the person himself.
Karta.
The second person is the the second doer is the place of action.
Yes, Adhisthana.
That is the body.
Place.
Then third is the various senses.
Yes. What you say? It's the
Fourth
senses,
is
instruments. Instrument of action.
okay.
That is senses.
Okay.
Karnam. Karnam. We say it
Then
karnam. Karnam. Yeah.
Fourth should be the place of action.
The place of action is Adhisthana ho gaya, body. Anybody remembers what's the 4th and 5th? 5 doers.
The various kinds of endeavor.
Cheshta.
Cheshta. And 5th is super soul.
5th is the Deva. God's grace, we say, no? So if you see, now we are Karta. So Karta is a desire. So body is given by the Lord, sense is given by the Lord, and our endeavor only have a 20% weighted in the whole equation if we see. But ultimately, everything depends on God's grace. We may do 100% endeavor, but if God doesn't allow, we cannot do anything. Right? God does not sanction. And endeavor is also done with the body and the senses, which is given by Krishna. Like suppose somebody is sick and he wants to play. So can he endeavor? He cannot endeavor. Because senses and body are not in the proper function. So unless Lord sanctions, even person will not able to do the endeavor, but he can only desire. Even in the most difficult situation, the Jivatma can desire. So if we see, we are only responsible for the 20% work, our endeavor, but we take full credit of the work done. So that's where the problem comes from doership. Okay. Now something I would like to show, the chart of 24 elements, how the body is. Like we all know that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, right? But how we are not this body, how we are spirit soul, it is mentioned in this chart. Prakriti, 24 elements. You see 24 elements? Soul, right? Atma. Then Atma is a layer of Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. Then false ego. Then mind. So now what is the Chitta? To become aware of the material world. Soul, which is spiritual, how it becomes aware of the material world? Through Chitta, contaminated consciousness. Then comes false ego, Ahankar. Then comes mind, Man. Then comes Buddhi. So this all four are called Antakaran, Chitta, Ahankar, Man or Buddhi. Now this all belongs to the elements of Prakriti, this four. And further is Gyanendriyas and then Karmendriyas. So Gyanendriyas, so now these Gyanendriyas are not the what you see here, nose, eyes, ears, tongue. These are the Sukshmendriya. Sukshmendriyas means which are situated in our body within ourselves. Like even we close our eyes, we can see whatever images person has seen in the day, person can remember those images when he closes his eyes. So this is called Gyanendriyas. So it's not a physical eyes, but it's a subtle eyes through which actually we are seeing. Is the sound clear? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we see this antakaran, chitta, false ego, mind, intelligence, and then it is covered in the subtle body. These five senses. Like you see some children like rock music from childhood only. Some children like classical music from childhood only. How they are liking their children? Because last life they have made their senses tuned to that kind of dhun. So because they made their senses tuned to that kind of dhun, so therefore their senses are being attached. So prana is 5 karmendriyas and then 5 gross elements which the body is made of. And then the 5 tanmantras, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. So this prakriti of this 24 elements. So study of this 24 elements is called Sankhya. And soul is a 25th element, which is beyond the 24 elements there. And this 24 elements is covering the soul. So all these 24 elements comes from Prakriti. They are formed from Prakriti. Chitta, false ego, mind, intelligence, Gyanendriyas, Karmendriyas, 5 gross elements, 5 tanmantras, they are all part of Prakriti. So when we say Prakriti Karamanani, we are not the doer. So actually the mind, false ego and intelligence and the senses, and they are acting. The soul is just sitting in the heart, just desiring the thing. The soul is not able to act. And that's why the doership, to the degree we give up doership in action, to that degree we can realize that we are not his body, we are spirit soul. And that's how by doing Karma Yoga, one comes to Gyan Yoga. Of course, for Bhakta, this is not a process. For Bhakta is by doing Bhakti, by serving Krishna and getting our senses in Krishna's service, we realize that we belong to Krishna, we are not this material body. So this is a process of Bhakti. Just by pleasing Krishna, Krishna removes the avidya shakti, the maya, by which person automatically realizes that he is not this body, is spirit soul. And he makes a spiritual advancement and gets free from this 24 elements. There. So this is how one is not the doer. And to the degree one, okay, volume is less. Is my volume okay or it is less?
Your volume is okay, Prabhu.
So because of this 24 elements, the jiva is captured in the body of these 24 elements. And study of these 24 elements is called Sankhya. And all the three modes, these 24 elements come from the three modes, three gunas. There, these 24 elements. So understanding that when we say that Prakriti is doing everything, so that means our mind, intelligence, false ego, and everything is acting, and we as jiva is just sitting, desiring, and everything is happening in the Prakriti under God's sanction. So that means if somebody's mind is in trouble, but Krishna can control that mind. Krishna can give the right intelligence to the person. Krishna can give the person. So this is the meaning that how we are not the doer, the Prakriti is the doer of it. So any questions upon this? Then we move ahead with the further concept. If any question, one Mataji had asked one devotee had asked a question about I'll read this question, that if we can understand that if we are not the doer, then we will not be affected by good or bad situation, we'll transcend them. Then again, how does our independence karma affect us understanding that we are not the doer? So any question upon this there? Upon this doership? Because Bhagavad Gita, first 6 chapters till 5th chapter, and again 18th chapter, a lot talks about this doership. And to the degree we have this doership mentality, we will have fight with devotees. We will have relationship problems while doing services. We'll have problems in managing the family. To the degree a person gives up this doership, to that degree, person can do the things without having tussles with others. And what is the cause of pride? This doership. If we do something and we become successful, then what happens? Pride comes. Because there is a bhav that I am the doer. So therefore the first 6 chapters, what Krishna is talking about, to give up doership is to really become humble. So many times devotees, we ask how to become humble. We ask the question how to become humble, and we don't know how to become humble. And we keep always telling humble banna hai, humble banna hai, humble banna hai. And we think, okay, if we tell bad about ourselves, then we are humble. There. So we may artificially understand humility without understanding through the scriptures. So the real humility comes when one is in knowledge. With Vidya dadati vinyam. We heard no, Vidya gives vinay. Vidya gives humility. So what is a real Vidya? That we are not a doer, the Prakriti is doing, then naturally a humility comes. We don't take credit for the work done. There. So now a question has come, that when we tell we are not doers, how do we explain that we should put in the best effort in anything we do? Yes, very amazing question. Because when we understand we are not a doer, then we can become lazy, right? Anyway, मेरे करने से कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, तो करने का क्या फायदा? बेटा आराम करते हैं. Right? If we are told anyway we are not the doer, then why to worry so much? Why to work so hard? Just relax. Yes, Sudhamai Mataji, that's your question?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So what is your answer?
How
Then
do
I
we
will
explain?
answer it. Huh?
No, how do we explain?
See, what is the purpose now? Krishna says, Karmane, if you see the verse, Karmane Vadikarestu. You have a right to do your duty. Ma Phaleshu Kadachan. You don't have a right to enjoy your fruits. You are not entitled to the fruits of action. And Ma Karam Phal Hetu. You are not the cause of producing fruits, because it's the Lord who gives the fruits. And knowing all this, you should not become detached from your duty. You should not say, anyway, fruits bhi nahi milne wala, I am not the cause, so better I don't work. So Krishna said, you do your duty. And then Krishna says, why should you do your duty? For the purpose of purification. Kayana mansa vacha. So Krishna says in the 5th chapter, why great souls do their work? For the purpose of purification of heart. So we should do our best to show Krishna have endeavored. And then Krishna will decide what will be the result. And Krishna says to Arjuna, even you don't fight, your Prakriti will make you fight. The gunas will make you fight. Now you are running away, but further the gunas will make you fight, isn't it? So this is what Krishna says to Arjuna there. And many places Krishna is saying, oh, Arjuna, fight, Vigata Jugara, giving a feverish mentality, you fight, but you fight for me. Mai sarvani karmani sannyasa adhyatma chetasa nirmamo nirankara. Nirmamo nirankara yudhassa vigata jara. You fight with giving up lethargy, but without proprietorship and without there, but you fight your best there. So now, unless, see, we desire, if we desire something, we work for it or not. So that desire is our endeavor, and Paramatma is sanctioning that endeavor. Cheshta is happening, and that's how the results are coming. So if a lion is sleeping, do you think it will get food itself? The lion has to do endeavor. So we have to do our part of Cheshta. Then the Deva will support our results. Does it answer your question, Mataji? Or is it you want more explanation?
No, it's fine, Prabhu.
So you understood the part of Cheshta we have to do, na, the human. So that's why we say do your best and leave the rest on part. But it's a part of purification of heart. Now, what is the purpose of doing our duty? Purification. That's why many devotees who give classes, I'm doing for my purification. Right? मैं ऐसा नहीं कि मैं लोगों को भक्त बनाऊंगा. It's the Lord who will make people devotees. Then we become very humble. And then Lord's potency affects the heart of the jivas. Now, this doership very much is important while we are doing preaching. Especially. So when we do preaching, book distribution, give any class, or do any seva for the Lord. So Lord will arrange our results in such a way that we are purified of doership. So you will see the devotees who are mature, they will always say the Lord is doing. It's the Lord who is doing the thing there. And Kripa Maya Prabhu was sharing, always I get a lot of faith seeing Rakal Krishna Prabhu. So Prabhuji always say, Jagannath hi mandir ko chala rahe hain, sab karne wale Jagannath hai. So to that degree we give up doership, we develop a faith on the Lord, that Lord is doing everything, and to that degree we can take shelter of the Lord. I think Kripa Maya Prabhu was also there, Karthik S. So Prabhuji is quite senior to me. So he said he wants to join. I said, it's good you join. If I do some mistake, you can correct me. Very good. You should bless me, Prabhuji. You are very senior there.
I'm just serious. Please go on. Please go on.
Yes. So if anywhere I stuck, so you are there to correct and tell.
Please go on, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yes, Ranjit Prabhu. Yeah, question.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Okay. So, yeah, Prabhu, I think last time we discussed in the center. So you asked me to raise a question, right? So for the benefit of everybody. So yeah, so the question was of the three factors, the Prakriti part, is a little bit difficult to understand. The Prakriti is executing, you mentioned, right? So in this case, so how about karma actually? So karma is also a factor, right? So what actually? So something to execute, there may be two parties, for example. So let's say I'm doing something, somebody is doing some activity which is affecting another person. So the karma is also influencing, right? That is one question. And also based on our vasanas, right? Our desire also may get influenced. So sometimes it looks like probably our role is very less. Probably things are already, most of the things are already determined. So what actually is that we can really change?
So you see, so Paramatma is a sanctioning doer, right? So what he sees our desire and also our karma. Like if you go for shopping, so you have a desire to purchase something, but you need to have that much money in the pocket. Then only you can purchase. So Paramatma see our desire and see whether do we have that much punya karma to get this or not. Then only we will be affected with it. So is that part understood, Prabhuji? That our karma and desire both are acting for Paramatma to sanction and then Prakriti executing. There. So karma is important that way. Now, suppose somebody wants to kill somebody. So unless that person has a karma to get murdered, no matter how this person tried to kill him, he'll not able to kill him. Only because this person has a karma to get killed and this person has a desire to kill. So both come together and that person will get killed. Now suppose this person desire changes. Okay, I don't want to kill that person. So that person will die out of accident. But the time he has to die, he will die. So unless somebody's karma is there, nobody can affect that person. Now this is true for non-devotees. So for devotees, we don't say that our karma is there. We say unless Krishna desires. Because even we may have a karma to be killed, but Krishna can always protect us. So if anything happening in the life of a person is due to karma for a non-devotee. But for a devotee, anything happening in the life is actually the sanction by the Lord. So because Lord can remove the karma, the prarabdha karmas there. So Lord is not removed, that means he has given the prarabdha karma for our purification. Does that answer your question, Prabhuji? On the karma side?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Now karma is also 4 types. Utam, Bijam, Apararabdha and Prarabdha karmas. Yeah. Okay, I'll take question. Vasudev, do you have a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. To me, it seems sometimes the spirit soul may not be the sole decision maker. It may be influenced by material nature. Right? I'll give you an example. So if there's a drunkard and he knows it is bad and his life is getting ruined, but every day 6 o'clock or night 9 o'clock, even out of force or out beyond his ability, he's dragged to go and indulge in drinking, even though he doesn't want to. So somebody else is doing the decision and forcing. So who is the desirer in this case?
See, now how he has got that association? Because of his previous desire. So today, somebody is in a situation where he's very much volatile. So that is also due to his previous desire only. And somebody is conditioned by his habit because he desired previously. So therefore he has conditioned. So ultimately it's the desire of the jiva which has made him helpless. For example, if you do some act for 30 times, then it becomes a habit, then you become helpless. But person has misused his free will for 30 times. He misuses desire. And that's why person has got into a trouble.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, there's a partner. You have a question, there's a Prabhuji? Okay, so now I'll go to the next topic. Now, Krishna, so how the flow goes, if you remember the flow we discussed last time, how the Karma Yoga is flowing. It starts from 2.47, Karmanam Adhikareshu Ma Phaleshu Kadacha. And it adds end, Bhoktaram Vigatapsam Sarloka Maheshwaram Suidam Sarvutanam Gyatamam Shanti Richati. So Karma Yoga starts with that Krishna is saying you work without desire for fruits and without thinking of the doer. Right? So here I'm thinking I'm not the doer and I'm not the enjoyer. But in the 5.29, at the end of the 5th chapter, what's the conclusion? Krishna is the enjoyer and Krishna is the doer. So our Karma Yoga is beginning with the desire that I'm not the doer and I'm not the enjoyer, and is culminating in Bhakti Yoga, that Krishna is the enjoyer and Krishna is the doer. And all other verses, what you see, 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, just towards that aim. To make us, we are not a doer, Krishna. And that's why any yajna we do. Om Damodaraya Swaha, Om Radha Damodaraya Swaha, Idam Namamaha. It's for the enjoyment of Radha and Damodar. For the pleasure of Radha Damodar, it does not count. There. So this is a consciousness a person is built. And this is called the peace formula. Bhoktaram Getasam Sarvoka Maheshwaram Suirdam Sarvotanam gyatva mam shantim gacchati. So one becomes peaceful when understand that Krishna is controlling the material nature. When one understands that Krishna is a joy and Krishna is my well-wishing friend. Whatever happening is in my life, Krishna has some good plan for me. Krishna loves me. Then a person becomes very peaceful in his life. There. So ultimately, the Karma Yoga definitions will bring to Bhakti Yoga. Now in Bhakti Yoga, we are taught this thing from the day one. जो भी कर रहे हैं कृष्ण भगवान कृष्ण को प्रसन्न करने के लिए कर रहे हैं, भगवान कृष्ण का शेल्टर लेके हमें करना है, लेकिन क्या वो दिमाग में घुसती नहीं है बात। तो इसलिए भगवद गीता के 3-4 चैप्टर पूरे समझाए हैं how that thing get immersed in our mind that we are not a doer, Krishna is a doer, so let us depend upon him and let us serve. And that's how the yoga ladder comes there. So now if you see the yoga ladder, how the yoga ladder is there in Bhagavad Gita. See, now you have done Bhakti Shastri, so you should tell me how the yoga ladder goes. Yes. So I will ask, okay, who all want to tell what is a yoga ladder? So then I'll ask some devotee there so that we know there. If everything I tell, then it will not be there. There should be some discussion about yoga ladder. Who wants to tell about the yoga ladder?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, actually, it starts from we are in animal platform. Animal platform to Sakama Karma Yoga.
Sakama Karma Yoga.
Then it comes Nishkama. So in between, there are different layers like Jnana, Jnana, then Nishkama and Bhakti Yoga.
Jnana, Dhyana, Bhakti Yoga. Yes. Okay, but how you explain how it is going from one platform to another? How it is going from one level to another? How to understand this? So that way we have to explain. Yeah. Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So
Hare
first comes the Karma Kand, which is the scriptures. As per the scriptures, we follow sometimes Sakam Karma Kand, and then we will purify, and then we will offer the fruits of partially. We'll offer the fruits to the Lord, and then we'll move on to the progressively to the Gyan Kand. Gyan basically the knowledge, Jnana Yoga, and then comes the Ashtanga Yoga, Paramatma realization, and then the Bhakti Yoga.
I'll show you one of the chart of summary of that. How to understand the different yogas, which explain the whole first 6 chapters of Gita. You're able to see here this chart?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So what happens? In ignorance, person has a tendency to commit sin. In passion, person has attachment to results, and person has doership mentality. So what Krishna is telling, you do work, but do work without attachment to results and doership. So what happens? The person comes in goodness. And in goodness, person develops a knowledge of Atma. So till the time he doesn't have knowledge of Atma. So but because he's working without attachment, he's trying to work without attachment. So what happens? The Jnana develops, that is not his body, his spirit soul. So that the time the person comes to Gyan Yoga platform, Atma. Now further the Gyan Yogi can go to Ashtanga Yogi only by the mercy of Guru, who reveals the Paramatma to him. And that's why Krishna is saying, Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprashna Sevya Updekshati Te Jnana Jnanina Tat Darshina. So a Gyan Yogi by mercy of Guru can go to Ashtanga Yoga. And then Krishna is telling who's the best Ashtanga Yogi? One who Shraddhavan Bhajato Mam Sami Yuktamam. Yoginam Sarvesham Madhyadin Antaratma. So if you see first 6 chapters, take a person from sin, bring to the stage of duty, and bring to the stage of working with attachment to Atma, Paramatma, and then further person comes to become a Bhakti Yogi. But what Prabhupada has given us a process. Srila Prabhupada has not given us this process. Srila Prabhupada is saying you directly serve Krishna, Krishna conscious activities there, and do everything for pleasure of Krishna. So while doing activities and serving the Vaishnavas, our taste for chanting, reading, hearing will come. Then we will do all Krishna activities done in love for Krishna, chanting, hearing, and that way we reach the topmost stage. So there is a ladder which is meant for a Sanishta Bhakta. Sanishta Bhakta means who is a one-ash person in a one-ashrama duty, follow the rules and regulations of one-ashrama, and slowly come to the top level of Bhakti Yoga. But a devotee directly takes service of Krishna and hear about Krishna, know about Krishna, and finally come to the topmost platform of Bhakti Yoga. So this is called the elevator of Bhakti Yoga process. And this is called the there. Now let us draw this stages of yoga ladder. It will be helpful to understand many things when we are discussing about this yoga ladder. So if you see in the text, if we draw a person by doing Karma Yoga. So first person will do Sakama Karma Yoga. Sakama Karma Yoga means he has a desire to enjoy his food. Then he will do Nishkam Karma Yoga, that he gives up the fruits for the Lord. Then by giving up the fruits, he develops Jnana. I am not a doer, I am not this body. Then he goes to Guru and then meditates on Paramatma. He develops a Ashtanga Yoga. And then he comes to finally Bhakti Yoga. But a devotee, by the association of a pure devotee, can directly come to, but a devotee can directly perform Karma Yoga and come to Bhakti Yoga. Shuddha Bhakti Yoga is above, and direct Karma Yoga starts and directly reaches Bhakti Yoga. So it's called elevator of Krishna consciousness there. So that's how the yoga ladder is defined in Bhagavad Gita. Now, why this yoga ladder is important for devotees to understand? For example, our temple is going to come on third floor. So if you are coming from basement to third floor in lift, so there are chances lift may stuck on the first floor, lift may stuck on the second floor, or lift may stuck on the ground floor. So ground floor is like Karma Yoga. Down is Vikarmi. Karmi is like people enjoying artistic life, basement. Ground floor is like Karma Yoga. Second floor is like Jnana Yoga. First floor is like Jnana Yoga. Second floor is like Ashtanga Yoga. And third floor is Bhakti Yoga. So though we are coming in the lift directly, but our lift might have stuck in the Karma Yoga platform, ground floor only. Our lift might have stuck in the first floor, Jnana Yoga. So to remove those mixture, we should understand the subject matter very nicely. So if we have a fruitive mentality in whatever work we are doing, so probably our elevator is stuck with the ground floor only. We are not able to reach to the pure Bhakti Yoga platform, which is on the third floor. Though we are not doing the process of Karma Yoga, we are doing the process of Bhakti Yoga only. But in the mentality level, we may be on the platform of Karma Yoga. So that's why knowing this helps us to rise to the further stage. Same way, if somebody is doing very passionate hard work, he will not be able to sit and read proper books. Because in mode of passion, one will not get jnana. Only in sattva, sattvat sanjayate jnana. So when he has a life of mode of goodness, then he can peacefully sit and read proper books. Same way, if somebody's life is very passionate, he is not able to focus on chanting the holy names when he sits for chanting. If he has too much fruitive mentality. When you sit for chanting, mind will be roaming here and there, no taste for japa there. And further service attitude will not come. The Shuddha Bhakti Yoga is a very high platform. And that's what Anuri talks about. Anyavilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Anavratam. So what is this Jnana and Karma which covers the Bhakti there? So that's what, if we understand Bhagavad Gita very nicely, then we can understand this there. And then there are three types of Bhakti. Like we will talk about the three types of Bhakti also there. So what are the three types of Bhakti? Of course, I forgot one thing in between. Sakama Karma is not part, Sakama Karma Yoga is the part. there. So because Krishna talk about, if you see, Krishna talks about offering the yagya, that the devatas are the anga, and you satisfy the devata. In the 3rd chapter it comes. So that's why Karam Kanda, which is meant for purification of heart, it also put in the yoga ladder. So Sakam karmas also come in the yoga ladder platform there. But it begins from the Karma yoga, when it is done for the Supreme Lord there. So Krishna says that Aha Shuddho, Kriti Shuddho. So by satisfying demigods, your mind will purify, and then you can work for going home back to Godhead, moksha. So Krishna says in the 3rd chapter. So this is the beginning. This is for the very new people being taught to finally come to the Nishkanti, Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Now, a simple question, Krishna talked about what is the symptom of a person who has got real knowledge from a spiritual master? The 4th chapter talks about it. Yes, anyone wants to give the answer? What is the verse? You have to tell the verse. It talks about that if a person has got a knowledge from a guru, what will happen to him? Anybody want to share their answer? So these are very basic fundamentals of Bhagavad Gita, and they will be again assumed in Bhagavatam, many places. So we clear it here. So when it comes, like I talk about the 24 elements, Prakriti. So in the 2nd canto, when we are reading, it will come again and again. So now if we have understood a little bit, so where there we'll able to, because any concept we take, it takes some few months to digest it. So if we digest it now, then further we'll do. Okay. So Krishna Prabhu have given the right answer, that 4.35 talks about the consciousness of a person who has got true knowledge from a guru. So Prabhuji, you can tell the answer also. What is the sign that a person has attained true knowledge from a guru? Krishna Krishna.
Oh, that is Yadgyatvana Punarmoham Evam Yasyasi Pandava.
Yeah.
Yena Bhutanya Asheshani Drakshasya Atmanyo Atho Mai.
Yeah. So what does it mean?
So you'll not get bewildered after this knowledge, and will not be. We can see everybody is the I would say part and parcel of the God. Everybody, all over.
Very nice. So what does it mean to see everybody part and parcel of God?
Which means he will see at a soul level. I mean, not bodily level. The platform will go.
Yeah. So he see Paramatma in the heart of everybody, or otherwise he see everybody as a child of Krishna. Yes. And that is basically difference between Kanishta Adhikari and Madhyam Adhikari. Right? Kanishta Adhikari see the Lord only the deity, but a Madhyam Adhikari sees everybody as a part and parcel of Krishna. And that's why he gave mercy. And Uttam Adhikari is at the complete realization of this, and Madhyam Adhikari will start developing understanding. And that's why in the 3rd canto, Lord Kapila says, if somebody worships me but treats others badly, then his worship is of no use. So this is a transition from Kanishta to Madhyama to Uttam Adhikari. When a person goes to a spiritual master, the spiritual master given reason how to respect other devotees, how to respect other living beings. So that respecting other devotees, other living beings is a part and parcel of Krishna. That is what the true knowledge the Guru gives to the disciple there. And then the knowledge about Paramatma and Bhagwan is given by the spiritual master, that the Lord is in the hearts of all living beings, so you treat them nicely. And then a disciple makes a spiritual progress. That's a siksha one attains by going. So in Bhagavad Gita, everything is mentioned, there. So how to know that a person has a genuine devotion to Guru, or genuine he has understood is, he will be able to deal with others nicely. There will be a humility, vinaya in a person there. Why? Because he will see that everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, and I'm a servant of everyone. And this concept of servant is also come in the 5th chapter, Vishuddha Atma, Jitendriya, Bodha, and he want to please everybody, proper rights in the purport, that concept. So therefore, this whole chapters from 2nd chapter to 5th chapter onwards, they're talking of so much Vaishnava culture. In the sense, what are the items of knowledge one has to apply? And these are very much relevant even in a Vaishnava society while we are doing services, while we are taking decisions. And therefore, whenever this is backed up with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we can very rightly do the things. And that's why a lot of counseling problems, a lot of managerial problems, and preaching problems can be solved on based on this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Then we are not the doer, the knowledge of the Lord, treating everybody as properly there. So this is just to emphasize how the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are very important. Okay, any other question till now before we go to different types of bhakti?
Guruji, in this yoga ladder, sometimes Ashtanga yoga is below when the person, his desire is to get siddhis, because Jnana yoga, his desire is to it is spiritual desire to merge into Brahman. In Ashtanga yoga, many times they get caught up in siddhis, which are in material platform.
Ashtanga yoga, they got into siddhis.
They want siddhis. They don't want.
Yeah. So they get off track. They go off that.
Yeah, that will be below Jnana then.
See, they get deviate in that case. In that.
Okay.
The purpose of Ashtanga yoga is to attain the Lord, meditate on the Paramatma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I have Prabhu, you said that Paramatma sanctions as per the desire and the karma. So if one does not have karma to die, he won't be killed by anyone. So Prabhu, my question here is then the question may come that is everything which is happening in my life is predestined by a previous life karma, or it is that I also generate some karma in my continuous life, which results I may get in future? And how we can differentiate the categories of karma which is coming from the previous life or the karmas which are given to me for this life itself?
Yes, very nice. So there are some fixed karmas and there are some kiryamana karmas. So fixed karmas means you're not able to change them. They are coming from your purjanma and you have to bear them. And the kiryamana karma, which you can change by little effort. And there are karmas which you create further. I'm forgetting the technical names for this. In essence, there are fixed karmas which cannot be changed. There are karmas which can be changed by some effort, and there are karmas which you are creating in this life. Whatever you have done work, so you have created further karma in this life. Like somebody is said, this like the Pandavas, the Kauravas, when they caught the hairs of Draupadi, their lifespan got shortened. So because they did some heinous acts, so whatever Prarabdha karma lifespan was, that also got shortened. You got my point? So that means if one does bad, then you can further spoil his Prarabdha karmas there.
So my question in this regard is, Prabhu, if we know that there are this set of karmas which are coming from previous life, then I won't endeavor much for it. I will endeavor for the karmas which I can adjust in this life only.
Yeah, so but one thing here, as devotees, we don't think like that because Krishna can change all kinds of karma. You got my point? As non-devotees, it may be true. And that's why non-devotees, there's a Vedic karma kand, anything they do, they will consult the astrologer, then only do things there. You've seen. But as devotees, we don't consult the astrologer because we depend upon Krishna. And Krishna can do anything. You get the point? So therefore, we take guidance of Guru before doing anything. And if Guru's mercy is there, and Guru is actually wanting us to do something, and Krishna will change up the karma there. So as devotees, therefore, we don't go to it. But we know the concepts for our benefit. You understand the point?
Yes, true.
Any other questions upon this? So how many of you feeling this concept a little more to digest in one class? Actually, in Bhakti Shastri, we take one concept and have 2-3 classes upon this. So since it is assumed that you have done Bhakti Shastri, so I'm taking it a little faster. But devotees can give me feedback how you are feeling this concepts. Accordingly, I will go. I don't want to push too many concepts in one class upon the devotees. Yes, any feedback how you're feeling these concepts. Muninath Karanko, want to say something? Dheeraj Prabhu, is this sufficient consensus for the day, or how you're feeling?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it's a nice brush up of all the concepts that we have studied during Bhakti Shastri. So, good speed only, Prabhuji.
Okay. Who is BRDD? Bhakti Mataji, I think.
Bhakti Radhika Devi Das.
Okay. I think Pradeep Prabhu and they. Sudhari Mataji, is the speed going good? How are you?
Yes, Prabhu. I didn't realize it's already 1 hour, so it's going good.
So should I cover one last concept or no? Or we end up here?
It's okay for me, Prabhu. Others can answer.
Okay, so it's good. So if you feel refreshing your Bhakti Shastra is nice, and then we realize some things after second, third. Like first time when Brahmaji read the scriptures, he got a karma portion of the script Vedas. Second time he read, he got a jnana portion. Only when third time he read, he got the bhakti of the scripture. The same way when we read multiple times, then we get the essence of the scripture. Okay. One thing I wanted to ask, devotees who want to take lead in, arranging Bhagavatam study circle. Like, of course, it's not a mandate. So what our plan is, now we'll cover first all 6 cantos in 4 years' time. Because we want to explain nicely, that's why we'll take our time. And in the classes only, we will give time for open book assignment. So that's not extra load. But for closed book, some practice we will do and some practice we have to do yourself. But apart from that, if we do Bhagavatam reading along with the class, so what happens? Our absorption is much more there. So it is advisable that with this Bhakti Vaibhav course, if devotees can make up their reading Bhagavatam. And on our own reading is little difficult. So if we make a groups, it becomes easy. So now already we have one group of Anand Leela Gopal Prabhu, Balkrishna Prabhu, Karunya Gaurang Prabhu, there, and Pradeep Prabhu. So they are doing. So they already started. You had Anand Leela today morning? Bhagavatam?
Yes, Prabhuji, we had.
Okay, you had today. So nice. So they are already started. So like that, any Mataji wants to take a lead, so you can call other Matajis or any other Prabhus, they want to take a lead in reading, you can call other Prabhus, and at your suitable times, you can read Bhagavatam. So it will be helpful. So yes, any two Matajis want to take a lead in that, who is a part of, and especially who are staying in temple, so that you can call others to take a lead in reading, and will help you also and help others. And you don't have to read every day. Maybe 2 days in a week if you can take, or 1 day in a week, 2 hours per week you read. It also will help quite a good speed to learn and there. So
one in the temple, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can inspire devotees to take home. So we'll make you one group leader for the Bhagavatam reading.
Okay.
Kirtana Garam has agreed, so you can take this Prabhu's association.
In the temple.
In the temple. So you want Prabhu's, Mataji's both, or only Prabhu's?
No, both fine.
Both fine. Okay. But some Matajis may want to make a Mataji group because they can do it even weekdays also. Like those Matajis who are not working. Yes, Bhakti Mataji, would you like to take a lead?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Which Bhakti, Prabhu?
No. This is Pradeep Prabhu's wife, I'm saying.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. Yes.
Bhakti Radhika Devi Dasana.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So maybe there are many Matajis, no? Sudevi Mataji, Shalini Mataji, Madhusmita Mataji. So
yes,
you can take.
Yes.
So one group Kripamaya Garam can make. So Kripamaya Garam maybe join with the group senior devotees, Devdat Prabhu, Rakhal Krishna Prabhuji, and maybe Vendagopi Mataji, Rasika Mataji, and the senior group can join Kripamaya Prabhu's group there. and your associates can do. So 2 groups come and 1 group may come. So that way devotees, everybody gets a, group. So Krishna Prabhu, you can decide. You want to join with Kripamay Gauram? Kripamay Gauram is the group you can join with. So same age group, it helps. The scriptures, if we learn, the realizations come accordingly. So Kripamay Prabhu, Krishna Prabhu, they have 1 age group. So same way we are as Grastas who have 1 age group. So they're reading together. It brings devotees closer there. So Bhagavatam does some magic, It builds relationship between devotees. Vasudev Prabhu, you can join Kripamay Prabhu's group. Ranchod Prabhu. So that 1 group can be there. So we'll formalize it. Devotees can start. It's very good. Yeah. Okay, so the last concept I will take, because it's still 15 minutes are there. Or anybody want to say anything? So the group you can decide, you want to do online or offline. If you're in temple, so better to do it offline. But if somebody is in HSLA, you want to do. Or if Vasudev Prantu, Pransaki Mataji and Rantrapu, you want to make 1 group, you can make 1 group. There, on Kripamay Gauram's group, if you can join, that will be best, because you'll get association with Kripamay Gauram. So you can decide there. Okay, so anything or any concern any devotee has or any question. So we are starting on 3rd June. Radheshyam Prabhu is coming because it's shifted. Prabhuji is coming here. So 3rd June, he will be taking the Saturday morning first class there. And then from the next week, our regular portion will begin. But if you have any inquiry about Bhakti Vaibhav, that what all things are there, what is there in the manual, and all that, if you wish, I can discuss. Maybe next week I can do a little presentation upon that also, Bhagavatam. There are some 15 minutes about it. We can do. So now the 3 types of bhaktis I want to talk about, because it's also an important concept which we'll be discussing in Bhagavatam. But where this concept comes of 3 types of bhakti, see, there is a Kevala bhakti, right? There's a Pradhani Bhut bhakti. Pradhani Bhut bhakti. And then there is Guna Bhut bhakti. So Kevala Bhakti is Shuddha Bhakti. What we say is Anya Vilashitam Shuddha. Right? And the Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti is Karma, Jnana, and Yoga Mishrita Bhakti. And what is Guna Bhuta Bhakti is, it is Bhakti Mishrit Karma, Jnana and Yoga. How many read this during your Bhakti Shastri? Please raise your hand if you read during your Bhakti Shastri. There. Okay. So it is there in the Acharya's commentary. So sometimes it is covered and sometimes it is not covered. Is not there in proper purpose, is there in the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, but it has helped to analyze the various sections of Bhagavatam when we know this. Especially Rupa NOD. NOD, it makes a lot of difference when it comes to nectar of devotion, that what is Shuddha Bhakti and what is not Shuddha Bhakti. Because as you would have read in nectar of devotion, why Rupa Goswami is talking about Uttama Bhakti only or Kevala Bhakti only. Because person can attain, go to Golok Vrindavan or attain Dasya, Sakhya, Vasalya or Madhure Prem only when one does Kevala Bhakti. If one does Karma Mishrit Bhakti, Jnana Mishrit Bhakti, one cannot attain the mallows of Golok Vrindavan. And that is why Rupa Goswami have talked about Ananya Bhakti in Nectar of Devotion. So Nectar of Devotion starts with Kevala Bhakti. Anya Vilashita Shudnyam Gran Karma Anavritam. There. So therefore understanding these 3 types of bhakti is an important concept. So Kevala Bhakti we know. Now what is Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti and Guna Bhuta Bhakti? See what is mentioned in the 7th chapter, right? Artho Artharthi Jigyasu Jnani Cha Bharashvata. Remember this one? Sukritano Jano Arjuna. That's 7.16. This verse. So first Krishna talks about 4 types of dushkritis. Then Krishna talks about 4 types of sukritina. So artho, artarthi, jigyasu. So they are karma mishrit bhakta. Then there's a jnani, who's a jnana mishrit bhakta. And there is a shuddha bhakta. And 8th chapter, Krishna talks about yog mishrit bhakti. Where he talks about prayana kale, you do yoga and then you go back to Godhead. So that is yog mishrit bhakti. What is karma mishrit bhakti? That you come to Krishna for solving your problem. You have some problem, you come to Krishna. So it's karma mishrit bhakti. Bhakta. You want something from Krishna. भगवान मेरे जीवन में सब कुछ अच्छा चले, सब अच्छा आए, काफी धन आए, इसलिए मैं आपकी भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. तो कर्म मिश्रित भक्ति. ज्ञान मिश्रित भक्ति, when you want to know about Krishna, then serving Krishna. तो वो ज्ञान मिश्रित भक्ति है. योग मिश्रित भक्ति, जहाँ पे व्यक्ति ध्यान लगा के बैठता है, अष्टांग योग, जहाँ पे हम चाल लेते हैं, तो वो योग मिश्रित भक्ति हो जाती है. बट केवल भक्ति श्रवणम कीर्तनम विष्णु स्मरणम पाद सेवनम, और ये केवल भगवान विष्णु को प्रसन्न करने के लिए की जाती है, वो केवल भक्ति होती है. तो ये भक्ति है, तो प्रधानीभूत भक्ति है. लेकिन इसको प्रधानीभूत क्यों बोला गया है? क्योंकि इसमें भक्ति मेन है, कर्म और ज्ञान और योग का मिक्सचर है, और व्यक्ति से शांत रस में जा सकता है. कर्म मिश्रित भक्ति से भी, ज्ञान मिश्रित भक्ति से व्यक्ति शांत रस को अटेंड कर सकता है वैकुंठ रस में. बट गोलोक वृंदावन का जो साख्य है, माधुर्य है, उससे केवल भक्ति से ही व्यक्ति प्राप्त करता है. तो इसलिए ये 3 तरह की भक्ति बताई है, कर्म और ये कर्म मिश्रित, ज्ञान मिश्रित, योग मिश्रित भक्ति दे करके. अब ये गुणभूत भक्ति क्या होती है? जैसे पहले 4 चैप्टर्स में कर्म प्रधान है, थोड़ी सी भक्ति इंसान ने करनी. ज्ञान प्रधान है, तो भक्ति सेकंड में एलिमेंट है, भक्ति प्रधान नहीं है. तो जो पहले 6 चैप्टर्स में है वो गुणभूत भक्ति बताई गई. मिडिल 7 और 8 चैप्टर में कर्म मिश्रित, ज्ञान मिश्रित, योग मिश्रित भक्ति बताई गई है. और जो 9 चैप्टर है उसमें केवल भक्ति बताई गई है. अनन्य चिंतयन्तो माम ये जना परिभाषते तेषां नित्यवेक्तानां योगक्षेमं पाम्यहं सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च निरन्तरः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते. So Nava chapter, therefore 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita are very, very special because in that only Keval Bhakti is spoken. So these are the 3 types of Bhakti. Okay, so any questions upon this?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Gunabhota Bhakti, can you explain a little bit more about it?
तो इसमें मेन जैसे भगवान आप देखिए पहले 3rd चैप्टर में 4th चैप्टर में ज्यादा भक्ति के बारे में नहीं बताया है. बताया कर्म करो और मेरे को अर्पित करते रहो. तो उसमें कर्म योग ज्यादा है, भक्ति कम है, तो वो भक्ति मिश्र कर्मा है. लेकिन अगर आप 7th और 8th चैप्टर में देखें तो वहां भक्ति प्रधान है और कर्म का मिश्रण है.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
क्योंकि वो लोग कृष्ण के पास डायरेक्टली आ रहे हैं ना, आर्थ और अर्थार्थ जिज्ञासु. जो पहले चैप्टर में कर्म योगी था वो डायरेक्ट कृष्ण के पास नहीं आ रहा, पर ये डायरेक्ट कृष्ण के पास आ रहे हैं, पर इनमें भौतिक इच्छाएं हैं, तो ये कर्म मिश्रित भक्ति हो
गया. This karma mishrit bhakti, then it is higher than even niskam karma yoga.
हाँ, हायर देन निष्काम कर्म योगा, क्योंकि डायरेक्ट भक्ति योगा है. डायरेक्ट भगवान के पास आया ना व्यक्ति.
But they have desires, like niskam karma yogi will not have so much desire.
But he has not directly come to Krishna.
Okay.
So that's why one picture Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj told, a devotee who's ringing bell in the temple is much better than a person who's opening many hospitals and doing a lot of charity work, because it's directly come to Krishna. And that those days it was a very shaking statement, this was. But by reading Prabhupada books, yes, the devotee who's ringing bell in the temple may have some mental desire also. It's much better than the person who's doing outside charity. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Nishkam Karma Yoga is a very lower there. And Nishkam Karma Yoga is rejected in Bhagavatam. This Guna Bhuta Bhakti is rejected in Bhagavatam. Nishkarmyam api achyut bhav anjita. But Karma Yoga, which is offered to Krishna, is appreciated by Narada. But Karma Yoga, which is without Krishna, is rejected in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Therefore, devotee don't follow the person Nishkam Karma Yoga. But we are learning Nishkam Karma Yoga so that we don't get bound by our work in this while doing this work in this material.
Yes.
We are learning the principle to make our bhakti anyabhilashita shunyam. Jnana karma anabhiti.
No. So it's like if somebody like very honest person like who is not devotee and he's doing his varnashrama nicely, so he is like doing this Niskam Karma Yoga.
No, when he has to give the results to the Lord, don't think himself the doer, be detached from the result. It's not an easy thing to do in Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
Like Vedic Brahmanas, you see, they just depend on charity. Whatever comes, they accept it.
Yes.
Not easy, right, to do that.
Yeah, but they may not have conception about God so clear.
So that is Nishkam.
Yes, yes, right.
But Prabhupada has given from beginning Bhakti Yoga only. That's why for us Karma Yoga looks Bhakti Yoga only. Prabhupada doesn't want to give us anything lower.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Anyone last question?
Prabhuji, can you repeat the concept how the yoga ladder is moving from one to other, like the...
Yeah, I'll repeat. But first I'll take one question of Kripaman Prabhu, then I will.
No, actually my question was basically this Kevala Bhakti, Prabhu.
Bhakti?
Kevala Bhakti. How easy is it for general people who are chanting Hare Krishna to achieve?
See, one thing is the process we are doing is Keval Bhakti. That because we are depending completely on Shravan Kirtan, the process
the intention is that.
The
goal is that. But so easy it's for people to follow it.
So if you see our processes of Shuddha Bhakti, what Srila Prabhupada has given. So if we follow as it is what Srila Prabhupada has given there, and we scrutinizingly read Bhagavatam. So what happens when one person gets attracted by Krishna Katha? Then he forgets all other things. So at that moment, automatically Keval Bhakti happens. So that's why studying Srimad Bhagavatam, scrutinizingly, nicely, and serving the Vaishnavas, that automatically will lead to Keval Bhakti. Because when it comes to 10th canto, person gets attracted by Krishna's pastimes. Then what else he can do?
So it takes some time for maturity then.
It takes time. But one has to apply to the process there. So anybody who will apply the process will attain Keval Bhakti. Don't offend the devotees, avoid the offenses, they are chanting the holy names, read the scriptures. Then, Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhiyam Yogam.
Priti Purvakam has to come.
So that becomes Kevala Bhakti.
Yeah.
So over a period of time, by the association of devotees, it happens. And if you see Prabhupada, disciples made so much progress because actually they did Keval Bhakti in association with Srila Prabhupada. Okay, Prabhu wanted a revision of the yoga ladder. So, see if you see the chart here. Okay, I'll show the chart which I showed, summary wala chart. Yeah, if you see, person first does the Karma Yoga, he does, right? Karma Yoga, work without attachment. So due to which he comes in mode of goodness. In mode of goodness, he attains the realization of Atma. So that is like Jnana Yogi. So then he focuses on Jnana Yoga, give up work. Then further when he goes to Guru, he understands the Paramatma. And by the time already he has given sensual desires, this person. So then he goes and to perform Ashtanga Yoga. So he gets the vision of Paramatma. But eventually, as he focuses and worships the Supreme Lord, he comes to the Bhagwan realization. And that's the time he becomes the Bhakti yogi. So that's how the transition is coming from Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga to Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga to Ashtanga Yoga into Bhakti. If you want, I can send you this. You can more refer to this chart. So I think it's 8:45. So maybe one more class we'll discuss. Actually, there are a lot of things to discuss and brush up there. Like universal form is another chapter, which most of the devotees find very difficulty to understand. So that revision we can do. 3 gunas. Then how the creation. Krishna says, I am the smell of earth. I am the light of the sun and moon. So how to understand these things? How to understand the universal form? So all answers there are in Bhagavad. There. So that's also another thing to understand there. And why wanting to take these concepts now? If you are exposed to those concepts now, then by the time 2nd and 3rd canto will come, it will not look very difficult because I have already exposed to this knowledge. But if without that concepts, we take this, what will happen? The 2nd, 3rd canto looks a little difficult to digest. There. So, thanks. So I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas there. So there, or any question, thing, and I hope fully devotees will make their groups and start reading Bhagavatam. You need not wait, Bhakti Vaibhav to start. Even this week you can start if you make a group for doing things, because it's very helpful for our spiritual growth to read Srimad Bhagavatam. As it how Keval Bhakti will come through association of Srimad Bhagavatam and association of Bhagavatas. There. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. The Sashad Bhakti will come in our heart. And Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Granth Shri Bhagavatam ki Jai.